Welcome everybody to this October 23rd webinar, Understanding the Teacher Conference Scheduler. My name is Rachel Cox. I am on the support to training team here at JMC. I live in West Central Minnesota on this lovely fall October day. We actually have some fall weather today, a little cool, but it feels pretty good, bright sunshine. Today I'm joined by Jody and Linda. Jody, would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jody Schott, and I live up in the Brainerd Lakes area, and I am on the support to training team. And I also am on the forms team, and I'm happy to be with you guys today.
Thanks, Jody. And Linda, would you say something about yourself?
Hi, I'm Linda Hill, and I also live up in the Brainerd Lakes area, and it is a cool morning this morning, but the sun's shining, and I'm happy to be on this webinar.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about how you can foster student success with the Teacher Conference Scheduler. Student success hinges on family involvement, and you can boost participation with JMC's Teacher Conference Scheduler. Today, we'll explore how this module streamlines scheduling for teachers by allowing them to block off time slots, and for families by providing a single place to view all their conference appointments. We'll also cover managing and communicating conference times in JMC Office, along with detailed reporting such as family attendance broken down by class. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in that Q&A feature here in Ring Central, and then we will get to those questions when we wrap up each section of the webinar. To kick it off, we'll talk about creating the teacher conference events in JMC Office. Are you ready to streamline teacher conferences? The Teacher Conference Scheduler empowers teachers and families to collaboratively schedule meetings that align with their preferences. In JMC Office, kickstart the process by inputting conference dates, specifying conference durations, and enabling conference scheduling, ensuring effective communication between teachers and families. Let's configure conference settings by logging into JMC Office and going to Teacher Conference Scheduler settings. So in your menu tree, Teacher Conference Scheduler and settings. The first step is to click the Add Row link right here, and that will populate a new line here so that you can select a conference date and time and all of that. So once you click Add Row, then you would click the Edit link to make changes to that new conference line there in your schedule. Step 2, enter the date of your conferences in the conference date field, or simply click the calendar icon. Step 3, enter a start time and end time in the appropriate fields to define the length of your conference day. So that's the whole period. So you're going to start right after school, or maybe you start midday, and the time that you're ending at the end of the conference period. And then the fourth step here is to add the length of each conference time slot in the appointment length minutes field to select the length of each individual conference. So if each conference is 15, 20 minutes long, you go ahead and put that in right there. And step 5, you can enter a date in the course term date field to specify which student schedules to use when scheduling conferences after the term is ended. So if you're having your conferences in early November, but the term ended in late October, then you can put that term date in there so that which term you're having the conferences for. Step 6, click the Save link to create a parent-teacher conference date, or click the Cancel link to discard those changes. And step 7, repeat the steps above to add each additional conference day for parent-teacher conferences. So a lot of schools will have 2 days back-to-back, maybe 3. So you would do this for each date in your entire conference event. Step 8, you'll click the Teachers tab. So we were at the Dates tab, now we're in the Teachers tab to view the teachers who are available for conferences. Fun fact, all JMC courses are included on teacher conference schedules by default, ensuring families have the opportunity to sign up for conferences for any course on a student schedule. Step 9 is optional. You can remove the check mark from the conferences checkbox to make a teacher unavailable for conferences. So this shows you all of your teachers. This will show you everybody who is available for conferences. So if you need to remove one teacher, you simply remove the check mark from the box. Helpful tip: to exclude a course from teacher conferences, simply remove the check mark from the Include in Teacher Conference Schedules checkbox on the Edit Course Data page. And we can take a look at that too in our live look. Fun fact, all teachers who have a yes in the Has Course and/or Is Advisor columns will be available for conferences in JMC Family. So I'm just going to back up there. So has course and is advisor. If they've got yeses in those columns, then they would be available for conferences. Step 10, select the closed, open, or locked buttons from the family access box to set the teacher conference scheduler availability in JMC Family. So right up here, we have this family access box. If it's closed, you can start working on those dates, putting things together. Once you click this open radio button here, then families can go ahead in JMC Family and sign up for those conferences. And then this locked button here, if once your sign up window has closed, then you go ahead and select this radio button. It allows families to still see their scheduled conferences in JMC Family, but it doesn't allow them to change any appointments. So it ensures that teachers will know their schedule. It's locked in place, but families can still view the appointments that they've made. Helpful tip, select the locked option prior to the scheduled conference to prevent families from making changes. So that's what we were just kind of talking about. They'll still be able to view their appointments. They just won't be able to change them. Step 11, click the email families button when the open radio button is selected in the family access box to notify families that it's time to sign up for conferences. So once you've opened up conferences and you want families to start signing up, select that radio button, click email families, and then step 12 here, if you have multiple conference dates, in this box here, you'll be able to select one or more of the conference dates. We highly recommend selecting all of them so that parents know that there's conference appointments available on each of those dates. And then once you have selected the dates you want, there's another button right behind here that you can't quite see that says email families. So that would send an email, one email about all of those dates to the family so that they know they can sign up for conferences on those dates. And then fun fact, if a family is signed up for a conference, the email will remind them of their scheduled time. So if you've got this open, you send out the email rather than being told to sign up for conferences when they already have, families would just be reminded of their appointment. And then, like I said, click that email families button to send the email or click the close button to return to the previous page. So we can take a live look here at creating teacher conference events in JMC Office. All right, so I'm going to find my Office tab here. So from the home page, we can come down to Teacher Conference Scheduler, Settings. And then we're on the Dates tab here. I'm going to get rid of this little pop-up. Okay, so you can see we have quite a few appointments already, but if I want to create a new one, I'll click Add Row, the conference date. Let's say it's for next Wednesday, which would probably not be a really popular time with families since we're getting right up to Halloween there. Start time, maybe we have no school this day and we're going to run them from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Appointment length, we want ours to be 15 minutes. And if I want this, select the term that we're in, maybe we're still in that first trimester, and I'm just going to go ahead and select maybe the current date that I'm on, or you would select whatever term that the conferences are taking place over. So if it's for Q1, you would want to select a term date in Q1. All right, so once I have that set up, then I can go ahead and click Save. And now I can see my new conference time right up here. I'll come over to the Teachers tab and we can see how you can select or unselect teachers, I should say, from conferences so that parents can't make appointments with those teachers. And then again, here on the Dates tab, this is where I can email families. So just a good best practice is to keep these closed until you have all of your dates set up. And there's a couple of reasons for that. So let's say I'm setting up my conference appointments. We're kind of talking about it in the office. We think we're going to have it on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We kind of start setting that up and then we decide, you know what, we probably don't need the Wednesday. We have enough slots open on Thursday, Friday. But if I didn't have this closed, then families could start signing up on that Wednesday that I didn't want. Or say I wanted to extend the time. Instead of ending at 7, we want to end at 8 p.m. instead and to accommodate more families. The problem that you'll run into if families are signing up for conferences before you're ready is that once appointments exist for a conference date, you can't edit it. So if I wanted to back this date or this time up to 7 p.m. rather than 8 p.m., once appointments exist, I can't make those changes. So it's a good idea to keep these closed until you're ready and you're sure you have all the information entered correctly, and then you can open it up for families. And then once families have signed up, so if you're asking your families to sign up from October 1st to October 10th, on October 11th, you could come in and lock this. Your teachers would then know for sure what their conference schedule is going to be, and no changes would be made, but families can still view their own appointments in JMC Family. And like I said here on the email families button, if I click there, I can see the families who were not emailed, and families that were emailed, and those families then would be able to know that they have conference appointments available to sign up for. All right. And that means I probably sent myself an email. Anything else that I'm missing, Jody or Linda? Anything that you want to add?
I don't think so on this part. No, I think you got it.
All right. And we will head back to our presentation here. And do we have any questions from any of our attendees?
I don't see any questions.
All right. Then the next thing that we'll look at is managing conference appointments in JMC Teacher. The Teacher Conference Scheduler module allows teachers to fully manage their own conference schedule. Your administration sets the date and time frame for teacher conferences, but you get to set the available time slots for families, schedule conference times, block off breaks, email reminders to families, and mark family attendance, all in JMC Teacher. To get started, log into JMC Teacher and head to Teacher Conference Scheduler. So right here in the menu tree, Teacher Conference Scheduler. And then the first thing you want to do is select the conference day. So if you've got conference taking place over multiple days, you'll want to look at, choose the date that you want to work with. Fun fact, as families schedule their conferences in the JMC Family Portal, the parent-student drop-down list will be filled in automatically. So right here, these drop-downs will fill in as parents select their times. Step 2, optional, select a parent and student from the parent-student drop-down list in a time slot to manually schedule a conference, or select blocked off to schedule a break. So this is a feature of the JMC Conference Scheduler that I really love. As teachers, you often know which students maybe need a little bit more time, which families you might want to talk to for a little bit longer. So you can come in as a teacher, you can put in that family, you could put them here, and then you can block off the schedule, the conference appointment afterward, knowing that you'll want maybe 2 conference times with this family. It also allows teachers to block off the times that they'll be taking maybe a meal break if it's in the evening, or for teachers who have their own kids in the building and they want to go to their kids' teacher conferences, then they can block that time off. They get some of that say in their own conference schedule, so that it works best for those teachers. Step 3, select a location from the room drop-down list to indicate where the conference will take place. Step 4, enter notes in the comments field to remind attendees of important topics to be discussed during the conference. Then you can click the Save Comments button to save those conference notes. And step 6, click the Print button to print a copy for your reference, for your conference schedule for a quick reference. So for teachers, they can just go ahead and click Print. They know everybody who's coming in that evening. They have all the notes and everything right in front of them. Step 7, click the Email Families button to email an appointment reminder to all scheduled families. And step 8, place a check mark in the Parent Attend checkbox if the family attends the conference to track conference attendance. So teachers on their own too, they can put in these comments, they can email the appointments to families, and then when families are attending on that evening, they can click here that parents have attended, and that just helps track attendance for the office, so they know which parents are coming in, who's attended conferences, and so on. So we can take a live look at managing conference appointments in JMC Teacher. So this time I'll head over to my teacher database. I'll come down to Teacher Conference Scheduler, and I'll select a date from my dropdown. And you can see right here, I don't have any appointments yet. So Parents can start scheduling their appointments, but as a teacher, I can also schedule specific students. Like I know that I want Mike and Elizabeth to come in. I can put them in right here. I can put in the room that the conference will take place. Any comments that I want to include about our conference. And then I can save my comments. I can print my whole schedule. I can email out families. So this lets teachers take some control over those conference appointments to make sure that they are accommodating the students to the best of their ability. Anything that I'm missing about the teacher side of the conference scheduler, Jody or Linda?
The only thing I would say with the teacher side is one thing for the office side. Sometimes when you start using, changing the method of how you may have done this at a school before, a lot of times the office would take care of it and, control it and whatever. Once you have your schedule, it would be nice to print it for the office, because then when the parents call and they can't remember their time or anything like that, they would be able to answer those questions. Otherwise, in the office side, you will not see these times. So every phone call would have to be directed back to the teacher.
Oh, that's a great point, Jody. Thank you. So yeah, the office can work in collaboration with the teachers to get a copy of that schedule. So they've got an idea of who's going to be coming through the building that day as well. Great tip. Thanks, Jody. Do we have any questions from our participants, Linda?
I don't see any questions.
All right. And if we don't have any questions, we'll move on and talk about allowing families to schedule conference appointments. So you've got multiple work schedules, lessons, commitments, and special appointments. Keeping track of the whole family can be dizzying. The teacher conference scheduler in JMC Family makes it easy to find the right place in your family's busy schedule for teacher conferences. View available conference times for all your students on one page so that you can select meeting times that fit your family's needs. In the JMC Family portal, head to the teacher conference scheduler to get started scheduling teacher conferences. Step 1, select a date from the conference day dropdown list to see conference times available on that date. Step 2, select a time to meet with each teacher using the appointment time dropdown list next to each teacher's name. If a teacher is already scheduled for a time, that time won't appear in the appointment time dropdown list. Step 3, repeat these steps for each kiddo in your family to schedule their conferences. Fun fact, return to this page at any time to view or edit conferences you have previously scheduled. Step 4, click the print button to print your conference schedule and you are all set. So let's take a live look at that family side. So I'll head over here to JMC Family. Log in and go to Teacher Conference Scheduler. So you can see at the top, I have got the conference day. So I select the day that I want to have my conferences. I see my student name is right up here at the top, and then I see all the teachers that student has. So I can come in for each teacher and I can select an appointment time. All right, so I'm coming in to meet with Mrs. Anderson. I've got a conference appointment at 8, and then I have one at 8:15 and one at 8:30. So now if I come down here, I am going to see if I can schedule something with Mr. Smith. And if I try to schedule again for 8 a.m., I'm going to see that this appointment has same time as another appointment. So JMC does not allow you as a parent to double book your children, because sometimes it can be hard to keep track of everything. So this way you can't double book. It'll make sure that you have a tidy schedule for that conference day. And then let's see here. I'm going to see if I've got the same teacher here. So I can see here that now 8 a.m. is not available because that might be scheduled then with somebody else. I'm going to schedule this one here for 9 a.m. and then I'm going to come down here for Mr. Freed and I'm going to see again, I can't schedule for 9 a.m. It's not available because it's already been taken by me or by another family. And then one thing that is handy is this print button. So this is what the parents page looks like, even after they've scheduled their appointments. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 4 conferences scheduled, but it remains looking like this so that parents can change those conference appointments as they need to. But once they feel like, okay, I've got my time selected, they can click this print button and it'll print out a schedule for them of all of their conference times, which I can just go ahead and click print. We can take a look at it. So this is what that conference schedule will look like printed out. So super helpful, easy to read for the families. And then once it's locked, I'm going to come over here and hit lock. And then I'm going to update. We can see it's been locked. So now no more changes can be made. I can't click into any of these. They're locked. But the advantage of hitting locked versus closed is I can still see all of these appointments. Whereas if I put that my conferences are now closed and I come here and refresh it, I can't see the appointments. So once families have signed up, it's important that you lock it rather than close it, so that they can be reminded of those appointments. All right, anything else that we need to add about the family side of the teacher conference scheduler?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. I think we remembered it all. Between the three of us, we were making sure that we covered all of our bases here. Okay, any questions from any of our participants?
There's no questions.
Okay. Then we'll talk about how you dig into that data, how you can track parent attendance and find out the effectiveness of your conferences. Curious about the level of family involvement in conferences at your school? With the teacher conference scheduler report in JMC office, administrators can view family sign up and attendance information to see which families are participating. Get the names of families who have or have not signed up or attended conferences, along with percentages broken down by teacher with this handy report. Head to Teacher Conference Scheduler report in JMC office to get started. Select the date of the conference from the conference day drop-down list to filter the report by a specific conference date. Step 2, select the appropriate radio button to identify which families will be included in the report. So you got a few options here. You can run a report by families who have not signed up, by families who have signed up, families who have not attended, or families who have attended. So you select who you want to view on your report. Step 3, we've looked at this box here, click the email families. And then you've got multiple conference dates that are close together. It allows you to put all those conference dates together into a single email. And this is for emailing out families who have not signed up and families who have signed up. So those two radio buttons, you'll have the option to email families. So if you're emailing families who have not signed up, it reminds them to sign up for conference dates. If you are emailing families who have signed up, it sends them a schedule of their conferences. Step 4, click the search button to refresh the report with the most up-to-date information. So if you've got this open throughout the day and you're taking a look at how many families have signed up, you open it up in the morning, you come back in the afternoon, you're going to want to hit search again just to see what has updated since the last time that you looked at the report. And then you can click this print button to print out the families who have and who have not signed up. Oh, as well as the families who have attended and not attended. So you can print any of these reports for the date that you specified. So let's take a live look here at that report page. So I'm going to come back to my JMC office page. And this time we are in Teacher Conference Scheduler, and I'm coming down to report. So here we can see families not signed up, families signed up, not attended, and attended. This is going to be 100% of my families because the conference date hasn't taken place yet. But if I look at families not signed up, majority are not signed up because we just opened that conference window. Families who are signed up, those would be the appointments that we just made when we were in JMC Family. So from here, I just hit search to update my list, and I can click email families, and you'll see, oh, I do have some multiple conference dates in here that are close together. Of course, the 18th has already passed us by, but I could include multiple dates in here. And then for the radio button that I've selected, any families who have signed up for conferences on the 30th and on the 18th or on the 18th, so either one, and then once I email them, they'll see their conference dates and times. All right. Anything else that I need to add to this conference scheduler report page?
I don't think so. I think you got it all.
All right. All right. Do we have any questions from our attendees, Linda?
I don't see any questions. You're doing a fantastic job.
Well, thank you. Despite this cold, I did think I was going to sneeze for a minute there in the middle, but I held on. I got through. All right. And if we don't have any questions, we are going to wrap up this webinar with some JMC news and upcoming events. All right, coming up next week, we have 6 ways Community Messenger can empower your district community, followed by taking care of your midterm grades. In mid-November, we're going to talk about being on the road with JMC. Meet us at a conference near you. And then we are going to recap some of those new features from the 2024 summer conference. And we're running a contest to get the word out about our brand new Community Messenger portal. Up for grabs, a communication strategy session with your team led by the guy who literally wrote the book on human connection, Joe Beckman, followed by a community bonfire. So you can click that link to get your contest details. And there's the Iowa Association of School Boards Convention on November 20th, State Principals Conference in Nebraska on December 4th, Slate in the Wisconsin Dells on December 9th, and the dates just keep coming. If you're attending, JMC trainers Paul and Jake would love to catch up with you at our booth. For the full rundown, tune into our On the Road with JMC webinar that we were just talking about. You can get some details there. And if you refer a friend, you can get a $1,000 scholarship. That's right. Now through March 2025, for every school you refer to JMC that signs up for our software, we'll give you each a $1,000 scholarship for your district. To top it off, our team will throw you a piping hot pizza party. If you have any questions, you can reach out to sales@jmcinc.com. On behalf of myself and Linda and Jody, everyone here at JMC, thank you for attending this webinar and thank you for choosing JMC.